Now I've got power. I've got 1:30 if everybody make their way to the seat. And we'll begin the Ways and Means General Fund Committee meeting. Ms. Harper, if you'll call the roll, please, ma'am.
Representative Reynolds.
Here.
Representative Blackshear. Here. Representative Hall. Representative Gracie. Representative Easterbrook. Representative Gibbons. Here. Representative Lamb. Here. Representative Lee. Here. Representative McCampbell. Representative Mooney. Representative Sorrells. Here. Representative Sells. Here. Representative Underwood. Here. Representative Warren. Here. Representative Witt. Here. You have quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Harper. And if the committee wouldn't mind, let me make a statement before we get started. And certainly this applies to legislation that has already moved through this committee, but certainly any outstanding bills. And when I say this on the FY25 budget process, and this is above and beyond any appropriations bill that would come through this committee, meaning it's coming from legislation that we review in this committee. Potential impact up to $24,739,550. So I appreciate your work. Let's closely look at these bills as they come through, and just keep in mind that that's a lot of money. As you may have seen in the March numbers, we saw a slight dip in the SSUT, and we also seen a slight dip in the ad valorem tax. So we need to be cautious. With that, Ms. Harper, if you'll call the first bill.
House Bill 394, fiscal year 24, Alabama Building Renovation Finance Authority Bill.
Mr. Chairman, if you'll carry that, switch it over to you.
Right. All right, Chairman Reynolds.
All right.
Nice.
First bill on the counter that does not have an impact on the general fund, House Bill 394, and I just want to kind of go into this because I was not nearly aware of it as I should have been, but the Alabama Building Renovation and Finance Authority was created by an act for the construction, renovation, operation, and maintenance of state office buildings and related facilities. This bill, HB 394, will amend that code and provide up to $50 million of bond authority, allow for bonds to be sold by either a competitive or negotiated sale, updates public notice requirements to current standards. And just as a note, back to what I started with there, the debt on these bonds would be paid from rent collections payments from those renting our state facilities and or parking facilities.
All right, any questions? The bill sponsor? All right, got a motion, second. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. HB 394 is given a favorable report, and Chairman, we turn it back over to you.
Thank you. I think you did start to raise your hand. I'll go ahead and give you a moment if you'd like to ask a question.
For the bonds, if they decide to go after a bond, would they have to come back here for approval? Who approves the bond?
No, this gives the Executive Budget Office approval to do that. It's my understanding there is not a specific project at this time that they're wanting to do. But I'm sure as the bond market improves, they may want to do that. And if you want more specifics with that, I see Ms. Wilhelm out in the audience. And
I would like to know, is it for just for additions, renovations, or is it for new buildings?
yeah, this is mainly renovations,
Not to
correct?
maintain the ones that we have, right?
Yes, sir. So Abertha has title to and operates and maintains what we think of as the white building here on the Capitol complex. The last bond authority that Abertha had was in 2006. And those projects were things like the steakhouse renovations, Gordon Parsons building, is up to $50 million in bond authority. If at some point we determine we need it for either deferred maintenance or repairs and or additional parking access.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members. Next bill, Ms. Harper.
House Bill 399, District Attorney's salary further provided for.
Chairman Ingram here. Let's hold on that because he was in another committee meeting, and let's skip down to Representative Allman.
House Bill 334, the Alabama Crime Victims Compensation Commission, restitution further provided for, members' compensation further provided for.
Representative Allman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Committee.
How about that? First, I want to apologize for missing your committee meeting last week. I tried to blame it on other people, but I just missed my email, so I do apologize for missing, and I appreciate you putting me back on this week. I am here to offer this bill that amends the existing code section that pertains to the Alabama Crime Victims Compensation Commission. If you're not familiar with that, that's the group, the body. It's just a statutory body that basically oversees the payment of funds to victims of crimes. Okay, so victims of crimes have there's a process in place whereby they request to be paid or reimbursed for monies lost as that they realized as a victim of a crime. And this bill does two things. The first thing it does is seeks to amend the law. So currently, under the existing law, victims of violence, like domestic violence, and their dependents may be awarded compensation for work loss, including income loss, that resulted from the criminal act perpetrated against them. And this bill also wants to include, under that same section, victims of human trafficking resulted from being exploited. That's the first change that it proposes. And the second change it proposes is to pay its board or its commission. Currently, they are not paid, and they seek to, I think it's just, it's my understanding, it's what's normally paid for other similar boards in the state, and it's up to $250 per day, plus their per diem and expenses. So that's the two proposed changes to the bill, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, I move a favorable report.
I have a motion, second. Ms. Howard, you want a question?
Help me to understand how human trafficking was, pulled out as opposed to.
How does that work? Or
I noticed that I understand the process of work loss for the other individuals, and so that they would not ordinarily fall under violence in the individual as opposed to the statement of human trafficking.
I think the answer to that is they know because it's a similar concept though. So let's say you take away let's just say the male was the abuser and he was also the breadwinner in the family, and he's gone. The woman is the victim of the crime. She can be reimbursed for either her lost work income because she was abused. I believe also for his lost income, and he's now removed from the home, presumably. Same thing for victims of human trafficking. The idea being that this gives, the person that was providing their income is now removed, and they have no way to get back on their feet. So this is a way to basically help them get back into society and on their feet. Very similar to the domestic violence.
Yeah, just to find it interesting that we had that they would be identified.
Separated
pulled out
from that.
From violence is violence, and if it's against a woman and they're missing income. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question?
Yes, sir.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? HB 334 receives a favorable report.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next bill, Ms. Harper.
House Bill 405, Municipal Housing Authorities, further provides for the powers of authorities and exempts from taxes.
Representative Pettis.
I guess y'all can figure out I'm not Miss Clark. I'm here for Miss Clark had a appointment she couldn't miss. I got brought into this Friday. My local housing authority reached out to me. I think this is a problem all over the state. They've reached out. These two bills, it's 405 and 406. One is municipal, one of them is, I'll stick to 405 and then we'll do 406. But 405 is a municipal housing authority. Basically what happens is they have the 3 Ps. It's public-private partnership. Well, they've been doing this for several years. Well, somehow somebody asked for an opinion from the Attorney General, and based on our current law, they're not able to do this. Basically, what this bill does is allow our housing authorities to enter into partnerships with the private sector. What it does, it saves taxpayers money. It makes we have better housing for our lower income people. And I guess I asked for any questions. They can really answer the question, so.
We have amendment.
there's-
Please, the committee, let's go ahead and adopt the amendment.
Was it-
What- You want to explain the amendment?
Yes, this is from the Realtors and the County Commission. Replace line 32 on page 2 with the following: exempt public housing authorities from taxes in certain circumstances and to make. Then on replace line 274 on page 10 with the following: conclusive, a business organization, affiliate, or subsidiary not wholly owned by the authority, or a partnership entered into or created by the authority with a private business entity shall not have the powers in intimate domain. Replace line 397 on page 15 with the following: from all state taxes. Replace line 404 through 406 on page 15 with the following: authority. B, an authority or other political subdivision of. Then replace line 408 on page 15 with the following: taxes, license taxes, or excise taxes. The exemption provided for this subsection shall only apply if approved by resolution. And then on remove line 411 through 413 on page 15.
I move to adopt the amendment
Uh,
as presented.
Representative Moody?
Page 11, sub A, does that remove this, I'm sorry, municipal housing authority, does it remove it from the competitive bid process of the state?
Yes, and there's been discussions to work on that now. It does remove them right now, but there's discussions, it was brought up today about that, and we're in discussions, see if we can negotiate that out.
Members, if I could, and help answer that question, we will not vote on these 2 bills today. We have talked to Representative Pettis today, and have an association that has issues with the bill, and Ms. Clark's actually a family emergency she had to deal with, so just couldn't reach out to her, and they've all agreed to sit down and talk about this. But I wanted to go ahead and adopt the amendments and get it ready. Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
No, that's an issue.
Okay, I got a motion and a second on the amendment?
Yes.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And we'll ask that HB 405 be carried over at this point. Next bill, Ms. Harper.
House Bill 406, county housing authorities further provides for the power of authorities and exempts from taxes.
And this is the exact same bill, except this is for the county side instead of the municipal side. And we have the exact same amendment for this bill as we did the other one.
Okay, let's adopt the amendment. Do I have a motion? Second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the amendment is adopted, and at this time, we'll carry HB 406 over. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I do have, if somebody, other than that, if there's any other questions, I do have somebody here that can answer them, if anybody has any.
I think let's just do some more work on the bill. I do have concerns too. I mean, we already have municipal building authorities
Okay.
in place. I know there's legislation moving on a potential county building authority, and now we're actually adding another layer here, so
Okay.
I have concerns as well.
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. And SB 199, I will handle that for Chairman Albritton, and this was the Emergency Medical Transport Providers Assessment that this body passed yesterday. But we will go ahead, and we'll ask to move this bill. If I have a motion. We got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? SB 199 receives a favorable report. And the last bill, Ms. Harper.
House Bill 254, homestead exemption, partially disabled veterans.
Didn't we do that?
Okay, I think at the call of the sponsor of the bill, we'll carry HB 254 over as well. Yeah. Whose bill? Oh, okay, all right. We'll call up HB 399.
399 is about district attorney pay. As of right now, they can't get a salary increase in their salary until after the completion of a term or their elected period or appointed period. And what this does, it says they can get a salary increase during their current period they're serving.
Do we,
Any questions?
yeah.
Ms. Hall?
Is that the case with all,
District attorneys.
no, yeah,
So,
are there other
Trish.
elected officials that can,
Can one of y'all talk about this?
Yes, other government offices, this is the way it is.
No.
That's true. Like your revenue commissioner and different ones like that, the law reads just as this. So this is
oh,
something
I
I
thought
feel
he
like
was
needs
asking
to be
for the
changed.
person from the district attorney. I was trying to figure out why you were speaking. All right, thank you. All right.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, committee. My name is Tricia Melberg, and I'm with the Alabama District Attorneys Association in the Office of Prosecution Services. And several years ago, back in 2021, we used to have DAs. Anyone that was elected or appointed prior to October 1 of 21 went under the supernumerary system. And there was a new pay scale redone along with the judges at that time, where we took supernumeraries. Anyone elected on or after October 1 of 2021 would no longer be a supernumerary. They would fall into the retirement system. Well, in that bill, we failed to address the COLAs. It's something that the DAs are asking for to kind of put them in line with some other officials like judges. It's my understanding several years ago that they got a constitutional amendment so that they are eligible to receive cost of living increases if awarded by the governor's office. So there are two bills. There's House Bill 399 and House Bill 400. And since they run together, Mr. Chair, would it be okay if I address both of them together?
You may.
Okay. So House Bill 399, there was some question when we passed the DA's original new pay scale that was effective October 1 of 21 as to whether their pay could increase because some DAs were tethered to the circuit court judges, where the circuit court judges would increase, but there was a question as to whether those would. Again, those are the supernumeraries that we won't have any more of. And so it was found that there was something in the Constitution that specifically said DAs could not receive an increase during their term of office. So because of that, it was interpreted that they would not be eligible to receive COLAs. And so what we're trying to do is fix that issue that we did not correct in the legislation that went into effect in 21, and just to remove that language that says that they're not allowed to get that COLA until the next term of office. And so that's what House Bill 399 strictly strikes the language that says a district attorney's salary may only increase after the completion of the term for which he or she was elected or appointed. And then House Bill 400 is actually the constitutional amendment that would have to be voted on by the people that would allow district attorneys to receive a COLA if awarded by the office or by the governor, if asked by the governor's office and passed by the legislature.
Making sure I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am.
When we got rid of the supernumerary, we're not creating another situation for that to to happen again, are we?
No, ma'am, no, Representative Hall. We are not going back and doing anything to create or do anything with the supernumeraries. This bill would strictly allow district attorneys to receive cost of living increases if passed by this body.
That just amazes me. That I would think when we have a cost of living increase that everybody that's on salary, that would happen. That makes sense. So I'm fine with that. I do have problems. House Bill 400, we don't have that today, do we? Do we have that on?
We do. It'll be next up. Right now, we're on HB 399.
All right. So, okay, I'm okay. If it does not address the COLA, that makes sense. I just don't want us going backwards to what we were previously, so.
Yes, ma'am.
And am I correct that there's only a finite number of supernumeraries currently, and there will not any be others that come out?
Yes, Mr. Chair, that's correct. As of
So this will
October-
eventually begin to trickle down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our supernumeraries have gone down tremendously and into that new retirement system. So currently, we have 25 that are current DAs that were kind of grandfathered in under the pay scale with the supernumeraries. And so that number will never get greater. It will just continue to reduce.
Representative Witt, do you have a question?
I've just moved for a favorable report.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Your HB 399 receives a favorable report. Mr. Chairman, you want to start on HB 400?
Yes, sir. So HB 400 is the constitutional amendment she was just addressing. So if there's any questions, I'm sure she'll take care of that too.
Any questions by the committee?
Move for favorable.
Have a motion and a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? HB 400 receives a favorable report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Members, if you would, I know sometimes I'm lenient up here with our members, but we hold those that come in front of this committee to a standard to call the chair to be recognized, and I would expect you to do the same thing during the committee. So, thank you. You're adjourned. Appreciate it.
We know, Arnie. Nothing. Not a thing. I spend all my time trying to figure out who I am.
We can take care of this. Not very much, man. This is what the bill is. Good job. Good.
see
We
you.
did try to come see.
I tried to see you 4 times and I missed you. And one time I came down, checked your door, the door was open about that much. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I just, yeah, well, next time I will. 'Cause I wanted to try this more, try that. I wanted to try that. That's what, that's why I wanted to tell you. It is, the vote of the people is part, hey,
But that to me makes no sense. Why would you give us? I saw one that read the bill though. How is it that you wouldn't give people a cost of living raise if they're already in the position?
It's crazy, the Constitution, the way that the Constitution is being interpreted.
I hear you.
Okay, so thank you both so much. We
Well,
appreciate it.
it was not a bad deal, it just didn't make any sense.
no, shit, I used to. Oh,
I know, I just have to get Larry.
try to see if you have me just call me.
You must have gotten a new phone.
I did.
Sometimes drop your.
Representative Hall, Tricia doesn't live that far from me growing up.
Oh, really?
So you probably
Now, where
represented
did you
her
go to
too.
school?
I went to Lofton.
Well,
And he, I was about to say, you were right up, Larry Smith, I got you in here.
Okay, would you call me?
Let me see, and 257-759,
256,
I mean, 256.
759,
Uh-huh.
2879.
I got you. I used to know another Larry, when she said Larry Smith, I said, wait a minute, is that from Larry Smith? And now I know it is.
Okay,
Probably
I'll
pretty
create the
Got
contact.
it.
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'll.
So you're from Matt, where you now?
I live here in Montgomery now, but my parents still live in the same house they lived in for 50 years over on Old Monrovia.
Oh, okay.
Tricia's our new executive director, Barry had to retire for health reasons, and Tricia's.
How's he doing?
He's struggling. He had absence and some arthritis.
No, I think I realize that.
Yeah, but he's,
I'm still calling you.
that's fine. But the doctors, and he made the decision to retire May 1st for himself, so, but I just wanted you to know Tricia's an excellent, call me, I get her, she's an excellent resource on any.
I might get her one and get you.
Well, that's good, that's good.